using these to play in the dark sector, so to speak. So someone else might take these reeds and want to use them in more of a bright fashion, but for what I'm using them for, they're pretty good. I'm going to use my Slant Signature Modern Vintage Tone Edge 5-star Autolink hard rubber mouthpiece. I'm also going to use this Silverstein ligature that I picked up. I picked up the one for hard rubber mouthpieces. It's got the 1 bar on each side. And also, as a benchmark, I'm going to use these Van Doren ZZ 2.5 reed. Alright, let's get started. Alright, this is also my Cannonball Vintage Reborn sax with my silver polished neck. So here we go. This is the regular reed, cane, Van Doren ZZ. Alright, so I have this Leger Signature Series tenor sax reed. This is the synthetic one, and it's a 2.5. Alright, so I just took this out of the plastic thingy here, and I'm looking at this reed, and you can see how there's all this mesh with this reed that's here. So I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on the sound, but let's try it. Okay, I am very impressed with this. This thing is light years away from where they used to be like 10 to 15 years ago. In fact, let me see if I can pull up that piece of crap that I had that I got for free from somebody. And if I don't have it, I won't put this in the video. This is the old synthetic reed that I found, and when I tried this thing, it was just absolutely awful. And the reason why is because it's too big. I wasn't even sure if this thing was a tenor sax reed. It has tenor sax written on it. I thought maybe it was a bass clarinet reed or something like that, but no, this stupid thing doesn't even fit. It fits nothing. So it was completely useless. But this new one, this is amazing. I'm not endorsed by any of these people. I paid for this thing out of pocket. This is going to be a game changer for me because I work in the travel industry and it's just not easy to acquire reeds as often as I like. All right, I'm going to play on this a little bit more. I don't know of any way to adjust this to get a different kind of sound. And that, I think, is the real weakness when having non-cane reeds. But if you have different ligatures and whatnot, which I do, I have a whole bunch of ligatures, you can probably use that instead of fixing and or shaping a reed. Pretty much how it comes from the factory is how it is. All right, so this is the fiber cell. And as you can see, they tried to simulate the texture of a cane reed, and it feels weird. All right, let's try this thing out. Same mouthpiece, same everything else. Okay, this is my dark mouthpiece, and it is super buzzy and bright. But let's try it, see what happens. Okay, this is now my bright mouthpiece. Now I'm curious to see what the mouth cannon is going to sound like with this. So I'm going to switch this up. This is my T55 Jumbo Java. I did a review on this thing, and if Dukoff ever made a hard rubber mouthpiece, they'd probably come up with something like this. So let's try, just for kicks, this Fibercell 2.5 with this mouth cannon. All right, so I have this Silverstein ligature with my T55 Jumbo Java with this Fibercell reed, and yes, this ligature does fit on this mouthpiece. This is hilarious. This is a joke. I can't use this reed on the. I need to use, I guess, a stiffer reed, but or a more open facing. Yeah, something. This thing is super crazy bright. All right, this D'Addario marble mouthpiece is a little bit too open and it's pretty dark. I'm gonna try this Fibercell, which has been like a lightning bolt. I'm going to try just this regular ligature here because it's so bright. I need to just try and find some way to muffle it. I hate this thing, man. There are some guys that really like that the sound just can't be bright enough, so they go out and they buy these super bright mouthpieces, and then they tell the manufacturer, hey man, make it even brighter, and then they get really bright reeds. And if that is your thing, man, I'm telling you right now, this Fibercell, it will cut through diamonds. Okay, this is a little bit out in the left field, but I'm going to use my Selmer Soloist with the Van Dorn Blue Box number 2, and then I'm going to switch and use the Fibercell just so you can hear how much of a drastic difference it's going to be. With the Fibercell. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually kind of dark relative to how it played on my other mouthpieces. I am completely and totally confused by what this reed is supposed to do. All right, still just for kicks, I'm going to use this Rico Metalite with the Fibercell just to see what this kind of synthetic reed material sounds like against this molded plastic. All right, I know you guys are going to ask about it, so I'm going to try this Dukoff M8 that I have with this Fibercell. These are Plasticover. All right, let me try this one out, and then you can judge for yourself whatever it is to your liking. So you get these, looks like they got really sophisticated with how they package these things now. So you open this up and you get like this dark colored reed case thing like this. and it comes like this. So open it up and it looks very pretty and unique. Wow, they don't taste like death anymore. When I was in high school, some long time ago, it was just like, all right, let's try this and see what we got. Okay, this is way different from what they used to be when I was in high school. So they've radically changed this. I need to use a different mouthpiece because this ain't happening. Okay, so I bought these 3.5s thinking that they were going to be like super thin like they used to be 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. But they're actually coming in pretty dark. I'm surprised. This is my V16 T6 with a standard ligature. Let's see what happens. Try something else. It's still not quite what I would want to use this for. I'm going to go back down to my lowest facing mouthpiece, or one of my lowest facings, my Autolink Tone Edge hard rubber, and I'm also going to use the Silverstein ligature that will allow me to be able to adjust the sound a bit. Don't just write these off as being junk reeds. They are actually more expensive. I think now they're actually a premium product. They have an ease of play to them, but these 3.5 seem to work mostly pretty good with this low facing mouthpiece. I'm gonna go through this whole box and pretty much see what's what, and then ultimately I'll determine how I want to wind up using these reeds that I already paid for. All right, I mentioned that with these Plasticover reeds, I was going to go through them just to see how consistent they are. So here's reed 1. Okay, reed 2. All right, reed 3. Yeah, I don't like any of these reeds on this mouthpiece. It's a lot better on my smaller facing, dark kind of mouthpieces where it worked out a lot better. All right, reed 4. Reed 5. All right, they're all very consistently not what I'm looking for. And for me, it's not really worth it with these kind of Plasticover reeds. At least with my main mouthpiece. I had much more success with my smaller facing, darker mouthpieces. But even still, for me, I'm still a cane person myself. I like the Leger to use on my smaller facing mouthpieces. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to do a quick summary just to give you guys a last word. So right here we have our cane reeds. I use the Van Doren ZZ as kind of a benchmark. I mostly play on the red box Java, and both of those are 2.5. I prefer cane. I like that if cane doesn't work out for me, I can adjust it however I see fit. Just with experience and time, I've gotten really good with it. So we move over here. This Leger, I found like this was really, really good on my smaller facing, easy to play mouthpieces that I use for my dark sound. I did not like this on my main mouthpiece, my more open facings. It just, the harmonics in the upper register and the more extreme ways of playing it, I did not care for it. And this is actually something that I had a problem with, both this one and this one here. I feel like when you push these really hard, once you start to get those upper harmonics to speak, it starts to peak in this weird kind of explosive way that was a bit much for me. That might be your thing, so you might want to definitely look into that. So I have this Rico Metalite mouthpiece right here. This is an M5, and I paired it with this Fibercell, and this was by far the best combination that I had with this reed here. So much so, I liked it so much that I'm going to actually do a separate video altogether with a very cheap way to get into tenor saxophone playing using this combination here. So over here, that brings us to the hybrid, the Plasticover. This is also a D'Addario product, and up here I have the D'Addario Select Jazz. With these reeds, I did not like these because I can't adjust them. They're kind of like almost the worst of what you get from cane and synthetic, because you can't really adjust these without scraping off the plastic cover. So with these Jazz Select reeds right here, I can still just file these because it's just regular cane. So the fact that they're charging this at a premium price, it didn't really work out for me. It might work out for you if you get the kind of consistency having this type of cover. I had the same kind of problem that I had with the synthetics, is that when you push it really hard, it just starts to go to extreme, beyond controllable. So, all right, that's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in. Kane!